give up information about what was happening in the Trump.
Got to have the sister girls in the back with their arms folded, and black Democrats are just props. They're not good for anything else, but just for moments like this, when someone does anything wrong, they have sex with somebody, they do some crimes, expose the Democrat Party for what it is, then the sister girls are now in the background.
World, the Trump enterprise. And at the beginning of that hearing, the ranking member, Jim Jordan, had the disrespect to Elijah Cummings, may he rest in peace and his name be a memory, after not allowing Mr. Jordan to shut the committee hearing down. And I turned to Mr. Jordan and told him to have respect for the chair and to basically shut up. And that moment went viral. And I began to get innumerable texts from friends, from foes, from constituents about what was happening in that hearing. And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein.
This is during a hearing. You have your phone out during a hearing and you're responding to people's texts. Just say it's not Jeffrey Epstein. You said you got innumerable texts from all these people around the world and everybody was celebrating you telling one of your constituents to shut up, right? You're answering your phone during a proceeding in Congress, all right? But we know it was Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted pedophile. He was convicted already when this happened.
Who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under investigation.
Well, he was already convicted. He had already gone to jail and he was convicted for the trafficking, for his activities on your island in the Virgin Islands.
And who was sharing information.
That pause right there, it tells me either she was nervous or she has an earpiece on and somebody's telling her what to say.
Information with me. Now, I heard recently from someone that I was seeking advice from him. Let me tell you something. I don't need to get advice on how to question anybody from any individual. I have been a lawyer for 30 years. I have been a narcotics prosecutor in New York City. I have had the honor of being a political appointee at the Justice Department after September 11th as a Republican appointee in the Bush administration. I know how to question individuals. I know how to seek information. I have sought information from confidential informants.
Yeah, but answer the censure purpose right now. We want to know, why were you receiving a text from a man who is a convicted pedophile and you're concerned about the victims now? Why did you ask him for $30,000? And then why did you get a max donation for your personal campaign? And what were you doing at his mansion? And why was he commenting on your clothes and how you look? And then why did you say thanks?
From murderers, from other individuals, because I want the truth, not because I need them to tell me what to say. And if you look at the transcript, you will see that I questioned Michael Cohen for 5 minutes. The Washington Post only shows you 30 seconds and takes from it one individual's name that I got from.
That's okay, because we've seen the whole thing. The whole 5 minutes is out there. We've seen it. It was visible, all right? He was asking you, were you chewing? You lied even about that. You said you was chewing your side of your mouth when it was visible that you had something that you can roll around in your mouth, the way your jaws was moving. So anyway.
Jeffrey Epstein, and didn't know who the individual was, and put that individual with a host of other individuals that I felt the committee should subpoena. They've never been subpoenaed. They've never been questioned. Because at the end of the day, I know that in the Trump administration and with my colleagues over there, it's not about sexual assault. It's not about support of victims. It's about money. It is about money.
Wait, hold on, wait. I'm not even going to comment.
I have consistently stood against sexual violence, and the exploitation of women and children in previous careers as well as here in this body. We all know that Jeffrey Epstein's actions were absolutely reprehensible. As a constituent, as an individual who gave donations to me,
it was so reprehensible that during the 4 years of Joe Biden, not one of you, nor any of you, the sister girls back there with all the arms folded and the looks and the wigs and the extensions and the glue and all of that stuff and the nails and all of that, not one of you sought to comfort the victims or to expose who all was involved in the Epstein debacle. So you were so appalled that you reached out for $30,000, went to his mansion, picked up the check, and we don't know what happens in between that.
When I learned of the extent of his actions after his investigation, I gave that money to women's organizations in my community, not back to him.
Where are the receipts for that? Can we get the receipts from that? Because all I can remember is you walking the halls of Congress saying that you're not giving the money back.
Him, but to women in the community who needed that support. That's what I think should have been done, and that's what I did. They've taken a text exchange which shows no participation, no assistance, no involvement in any illegal activity, and weaponized it for political theater. Because that's what this is. This has been reviewed by federal courts. Any charges, victims who initially had a case against me dismissed it on their own without prejudice. You don't want to talk about what is really happening here. Your attacks on working families, your protection of powerful predators and corporate.
When the Democrats say working families, you know who they're talking about, right? They're talking about illegals, because Americans in their sight are lazy and we don't work. So they're talking about working families. The working families they're talking about are illegals over here who clean our toilets, who wipe our butts, who pick our food, who iron our clothes, who watch our kids. They are the modern day slaves in the eyes of the Democrats. So when they talk about working families, they're not talking about citizens.
Criminals, you want to talk about texting felons? How often do you text President Donald J. Trump? That's the individual we should be concerned about.